In today's video, body fat is a good thing.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and I'm laughing because I just have to laugh. So today's video topic is going to be the idea that fat is good. Body fat is a good thing. And the reason why I want to have this discussion is, as always, or as it's frequently the case, it's a trend I've seen with clients and emails and inquiries, and even people that I just hear conversations out in public, friends, family. And I heard a word the other day and it kind of triggered me, and then that word kind of got me paying attention to some of the email discussions that I've been having with clients and discussions that I'm having with people in the gym, and that is the idea that fat is constantly considered negative. I heard someone eating one day and I overheard someone say to that person, "Oh, don't eat that, it's fattening." And I thought, well, all food is fattening because we're constantly storing body fat, okay? So the idea that something is fattening, being negative, is kind of profound, because probably 1,000 years ago, a couple hundred years ago, eating something fattening would have been a great thing when calories were not constantly in a surplus, when we were not constantly faced with having to eat more and more food. It's a part of our society that thankfully we no longer have to worry about starvation as much, okay? We can actually avoid eating foods because it's fattening, right? First world problems. But I want to talk about that and give you guys some context for what I mean, because as someone, and the reason I started laughing when I turned the camera on, because I realized I'm actually in a fat loss phase. That's right. I am going to tell you how good fat is for you, but I'm going to continue getting leaner. And I think tomorrow I'll do an update video on my physique, because I've actually dropped below 215, which was what I said I would do my next physique update video. So I've dropped about 11 pounds since New Year, hit a new low 2 days ago, and then I hit a new low today. So my body just seems to be really humming along with the fat loss. I feel a little bit flat today, but I might actually, I've been doing 2 refeed days a week this week, so tomorrow might be a refeed. So off topic, sorry for that guys, but tomorrow's video will be probably a physique update. I'll show you some video before and after how my physique was looking, talk about the process. But yes, I am actually losing body fat at this point, and that is my goal. So I want to talk about some of the positives that fat has, both body fat and consuming nutritional fat, okay? Let's talk about some of the positives associated with body fat, because I think sometimes we only associate with the negatives. Yes, if you have a little bit more body fat, you don't see the detail in your muscle, you might not see your six-pack, you might not get comments from people about how chiseled you look, but let's talk about the benefits of more body fat. The most obvious one is that body fat is stored energy. So you, my friend, if you have a little bit more body fat, you can survive the apocalypse a little bit better, okay? Now I know that's being silly, but in reality, body fat is the most conservative way to store energy for our bodies. In fact, we store thousands and thousands of calories of energy just in body fat, okay? So one of the biggest benefits is just that we have more energy on reserves, and if you're unable to eat food, you will still be able to function. That's right. People have actually gone months or even an entire year without consuming food and allowed their body fat to be broken down for energy. Now, I wouldn't suggest this, especially without medical supervision, but it has happened, so there's the benefit of that. One major thing, body fat also acts as an insulator. So when you have a little bit more body fat, most of the body fat in our bodies lies underneath our skin. So it acts as an insulation system, okay? It keeps us a little bit warmer. Anybody that has dieted down and gotten very, very lean knows that you're constantly cold. In fact, it's something that I'm preparing for now, as I'm starting to reach the phase where I start to notice my body temperature stays a little bit cooler. My son has been sick this weekend, and so I've been taking my temperature as well as his, and I already notice my resting body temperature is lower than usual. So probably has something to do with the fact that I'm a little bit leaner than I've been in a while. Okay, another big thing is that anybody that's been really lean knows it can be uncomfortable to sit down, be uncomfortable to grip a bar. There's like these fat pads in our body. There's fat in our glutes. There's fat that kind of covers areas that might otherwise be bony. And so fat can actually help when it comes to absorbing impacts. And one of the biggest things I notice, especially with pressing movements, such as bench press, shoulder press, fat really improves our leverages when we're lifting, okay? I have benched 400 pounds before with a pause, bam. I could not get anywhere near close to that. When I benched 400 pounds, I was 240 pounds, okay? I am now 215 or so pounds. That 25 pounds was not muscle loss. That is body fat loss. That is fat in my legs, my back, my chest, right? A lot of men store a lot of body fat in their chest. So one of the things I noticed, the first thing to go is my pressing strength. Literally, as my weight drops at the beginning of the diet, my pressing strength follows right with it. Now, my endurance is still there. I know the muscle is still there. So why does my pressing strength drop if I get leaner? The leverages. So if you want to be as strong as humanly possible, then body fat is going to benefit you. So let's talk a little bit about nutrition and the things that are beneficial for having some body fat or ingesting some body fat. Let's talk about absorbing your food. There are some vitamins that are fat absorbed, okay? They're fat soluble. Vitamins like A, D, A, and K require fat to be broken down. So if you're not ingesting enough fat with your diet, you might not be getting full absorption of all your calories. I, as a coach, have been paying a lot more attention to higher fat approaches, okay? I've been a lot less likely to drop fats the last year or two because I have noticed that if we can keep fats in a good range and make carbohydrates the bigger variable, then I see some benefits to the next thing that I want to talk about, and that is fats. Fats are structural components of many of the things that make up our hormones and our sex hormones in our body. Women, you know this, if your body fat gets too low, what happens? Amenorrhea, okay? We start seeing a loss of the menstrual cycle. Now, for athletes, this is to be expected. It is a normal part of it. And if you think of it from a human evolutionary perspective, if we are very low in body fat, that indicates that we do not have the environment around us to support eating more, and thus why would we want to reproduce? Okay, so it's normal for a female to lose their period. For men, we notice the same things. The leaner and leaner I get, the less and less interested I become in sex. Yes, it's sad to say. However, going through this process several times, many times, I understand that that's just a normal part of the process, and I actually go out of my way to make sure my wife knows that she's beautiful and it has nothing to do with her. She actually jokes with me now that, oh, you're not interested? Must be the diet, okay? So we are aware as a couple that this happens, but if this is something that is difficult for you to handle early in a relationship, well, maybe it's not the right time for you to be focusing on getting to 5% body fat, because I promise you, if you see a commercial on TV with a girl holding a burger in a bikini, you will not notice the girl in the bikini. It will only be the burger, okay? So you start to become food focused, food attention, and there are just some other things that happen with low sex hormones that can negatively impact our lives. However, as a physique competitor, as someone who's interested in getting down to this ultra lean state, I understand that I might not be the healthiest I can possibly be when I look the fittest I can possibly look, okay? I might look crazy, shredded and hard and gnarly, and that's my goal this year. And I understand that during that time, there's going to be some less than optimal training sessions, probably some mood. Everyone gets a little bit grumpier when they have very low calories and low body fat, all right? It's just a change. Everyone's personality is a little bit different. But so I just want to express to you guys that body fat is good. Eating fat is good, okay? It all depends on our goals. And one thing I love about being a coach for so long is that I'm actually able to impact people, women, men, in a positive way and convincing them to put on some body fat. Instead of focusing purely on aesthetics, which is much an internal thing, no one else is judging you the way you judge yourself. Focus on things like strength, performance, sleep, energy, having the energy for sex, being able to progress with strength, not feeling cold all the time, having better leverages. That's the message from Coach Paul today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on why fat is good, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.